This is everything I normally take to go camping in the backcountry. But today, I'm going backpacking without a backpack. My mission is simple. Hike a grueling 30-mile loop to a remote High Sierra lake, spend the night, and make it back in one piece. You're probably thinking this is the worst idea you've ever heard, and you might be right. In fact, this whole thing is off to a fairly poor start. We'll talk about that later. But I have a plan. Wish me luck. Some of the things I definitely didn't bring include a tent, a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, and a bunch of other things that I used to bring on every trip. Here's one of the reasons I'm doing this. I watched these people leave the trailhead about 30 minutes before me, and I'm about to fly past them. Hi. Good, how are you guys? Good. Here's another group. Gonna cruise right past. And thanks to Incogni for sponsoring this video. Time for a quick water break. You're probably wondering why anyone would do this, and we're gonna get to that, but I think I saw you admiring my vest. Pretty sweet, right? This is a vintage fishing vest that I got on eBay, and it's got all of the gear I need for this trip, except for this. This is my food bag. I got this at a grocery store. It cost me nothing. This was a last-minute trailhead decision. I was gonna bring a bear canister, but the ranger said that I could probably find somewhere to hang this. This is a perfect tree for a bear hang, but we got something like 12 more miles to go. There are definitely bears here, so we gotta be careful. Oh, wow. Views are already getting good. Probably not much more than a mile in, and this place is already stunning. This is Emigrant Wilderness, just north of Yosemite. So far, this is about as cool as Yosemite, but with many fewer people. Bad news. The bag has developed a slight tear. Nothing to freak out about just yet, but this is something we gotta keep an eye on. I feel like I should explain myself. Why would anyone do this? There are a couple reasons. First and foremost, I just love being out here. This is amazing. I feel so fortunate that I get to do this. Oh my goodness. But why no stuff? Why go backpacking without a backpack? Well, I'll tell you why. I would never in a million years be able to do this route with the 40 pounds of gear that I normally bring. This route is over a marathon in distance. Might not be much for you, but for me, not possible. I only have one night. I have to be home tomorrow. So moving fast without a bunch of stuff is the only way this is possible. Plus my gear is getting old. It's worn out and heavy, but the newer, lighter stuff is so expensive. So I thought, why don't I just not bring anything that I don't really need? And perhaps most importantly, I just wanted to see if I could have a great time out here without worrying about any of that. So far, it's going really well. Wow. On the flip side, I have made some mistakes. This is a brand new pair of shoes, and typically you want to break your shoes in. I didn't do that. Developing some blisters, but I think I can handle it. I was really hoping not to need this, but this is a lighter with some Luco tape on it. Fire bans are absolutely in effect, so the only reason I would need this lighter is for an absolute disaster. These black things are called gaiters. Normally I'm not a fan, but I did not bring a change of clothes, so this is the best way I know of to keep my socks and inside of my shoes clean. Now it's time to say goodbye to Camp Lake. We are making great time. I don't really have much, but I will tell you all about the gear I do have as we go on. I've already made some pretty big mistakes, and I guess I'm gonna have to talk about those too. Wow, this is stunning. This trail is nice and sandy. Not fun to walk on, but that's great news for tonight. You'll see what I mean. Oh. Oh, lost the trail. This is not the trail. We gotta go back this way. Is this the trail? Must be. Oh. Oh no. Turns out I am on a game trail. This is not the trail. I think it's over this way. Bad news, I've come to a stream crossing, but clearly no one is crossing the trail here. I think I'm just gonna follow the stream until I find what looks like a more reasonable trail. Hopefully that works. Nope. Ah. Ow. Oh, well, there's the stream. Still no trail. Oh, look at all these fish. Whoa. All right, well, I don't know if this is the trail or not, but this seems like as good a place as any to cross the stream. Yeah, probably not a trail, just a wash. Now's probably a good time to say, don't do this. Do not do this. Yikes. I have thought this through pretty well, but things can always go wrong, like they are now. I've got some other problems. We'll talk about those once I find the trail. Oh, I think this is it up here. Thank goodness. All right. Just beautiful. All right. Quick break to talk about and deal with some issues. Issue number one, I don't have a camera. In fact, this entire thing has been filmed through my phone. I forgot a memory card. One memory card isn't being recognized, and one camera seems to be having an issue. Normally, I bring two in my phone. Today, it's just the phone. Next issue, getting more hotspots. Developing blisters this early on is not a good thing. Gonna try to address that with my remaining Leukotape. This is my third pair of the exact same shoes, and I've never had this issue before, so not sure what I'm doing wrong. Next issue, it's getting a little warm, but that's something I can handle. Yes, I am wearing long sleeves and a hood. This is called a sun hoodie, and it helps protect you from the sun. It ends up being about as cool as just wearing a t-shirt. But with one added bonus, you don't have to constantly slather yourself with sunscreen. All right, taped up, ready to go, and we are on the road again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is the worst possible news. Well, this is about the worst thing that could have happened, and it has. I've been carrying this because it's more comfortable than stuffing it in my back pocket, but that's no longer an option now. I have a spare bag that I was planning on using for trash, but oh man, this is critical. I need to hang this bag so the bears don't get it overnight. Cannot risk this happening again. My final piece of bad news is that we are now behind schedule. I have been moving quick, but stopping too much. We are starting to go up, and we got a lot more going up to do. I think I can still make it. My goal is to get to Buck Lake, which is another 10 miles or so. But it's not gonna be easy. Made it to Lily Lake. Not hard to see how it got that name. So far, I am still feeling fantastic. Normally by this point in a backpacking trip, the weight would be really getting to me. I think it's a little bit after noon. My watch broke. I left it in the car. And that means we are back on track. Let's go. The water over here looks just okay. I brought 2 liters of water, and this is how much I have left. One of the reasons I thought this would be a good place to make this video is because there are so many lakes. Brought a filter with me as well. This landscape is just absolutely stunning. When I started on this trip, I thought, you know what, this is kind of a gimmick. This might just be a really dumb idea, and that could still be the case. The real test of this challenge still lies ahead of us. But so far, this is awesome. I'm feeling good. I'm moving quick. I'm enjoying myself. It's hard to imagine it getting much better than this, though I do really wish you could see the tripod situation I've got going. It's a couple rocks on top of another rock, but it's working. Probably not the best water source I've ever drank from, but I've definitely drank from worse. From now on, this is the dirty bottle. Note to self, you can tell it's the dirty bottle because it has the filter on top. Just took a look at the map and turns out we do have quite a bit of distance to cover before our next lake and quite a bit of elevation to gain. Oh, this is a disaster. So I'm gonna have a quick snack before we move on. Let's see what we got. Mostly bars and things. I'm gonna start with this. Lara bar, blueberry muffin. I'm gonna rate this on a scale of would I get it again to would I not get it again? And I think I would get it again. This view is incredible. Haven't seen another person for 2 hours and I would love to sit here all day basking in the solitude, but from what I've seen, this trip just gets better and better the farther we go. Looking good, feeling good, let's do it. Just now saying goodbye to the end of Lily Lake and morale is back up. The blister situation has somewhat stabilized. Haven't had any more issues in a while. Got 2 liters full of water and we're back on the trail. Another positive, I haven't seen any signs of bears. I believe we are first going down to that meadow and then all the way up that mountain. Made it to the meadow. Now we go up. I've just made it to the junction of the Groundhog Meadow Trail. At this point, if I were to take that trail, it would make this loop exactly half as long. I told myself that if something goes wrong, I could just do that, but that's not what I came here for. I came here to really push it and see what's possible, so that's what I'm gonna do. We're really out here now. It's 1:30, so I think we're on track, but we are about to start climbing. Status update, made it to the top of this climb, and this place is unreal. Oh my God. I still have this entire wilderness area seemingly to myself. Next step is we climb down there where I believe there is a lake. I sure do hope so. And then we go through that gap and it's time for the biggest climb of the trip. I'm a little tired, not gonna lie. Definitely losing some energy, but I sure do feel much better than I would if I was carrying a 45-pound backpack. No question about that. It's definitely getting hot out here, but not overly so. Kind of nice having the vest instead of a backpack up against you. Not sure if I mentioned this before, but I didn't bring sunscreen. I just brought chapstick. How do I look? This whole area is a backcountry campground, but I'm the only one here. I think it's around 2 o'clock right now. I started at 10, 4 hours. Yeah, a we are making good time. This water looks even murkier than the last lake, but it's fine. It's water. I am fading to be certain, so I think it's snack time again. Just beautiful. All right, let's see what we got. Well, chocolate is all melted. How about this? Kalahari Biltong. Original flavor. It's kind of nice. Similar to beef jerky, but with a slightly different texture and a slightly different flavor as well. But would I get it again? Yes, I would definitely get this again. This is quite good. One more snack before we really get moving. What do we got here? This is a protein puck. Seedy, nutty, melted chocolate. But would I get it again? I do like the almond butter flavor. That's nice. I don't know about this one. This one straddles the line. Maybe yes, maybe no. If you like a lot of seeds and oats and things, then you might love this. Not bad. Energy back up, water full, morale as high as ever, and we got some big climbs coming up. The true test of my backpacking without a backpack strategy is coming up. What is this magical butterfly garden? Bad news, my phone is not charging because liquid is detected. Why don't we catch up a little bit later? Something about these high alpine lakes. All right, here's the deal. My phone is now charging, but only because I found the emergency override. It said this could cause permanent damage. Let's hope it doesn't. That back there was Gem Lake, and I can see why they call it that. It's around 3:45 right now. I think the sun sets at 8. I think we're looking good, but I am struggling. I am definitely slowing down. I think we're probably around 7,000 feet above sea level right now, but we got to go up past 8,000. So let's go. This is another junction point where I could shorten this loop, but we're not doing that. Well, still going up. Morale remains high, but there's something wrong with my stomach. I don't know what's going on. This one's called Jewelry Lake. Again, not hard to see why. Crazy how close to the plains you are up here. The trail is wet. Something's out here and not far away. That something could be a horse, or it could be a bear. We may never see that something, or it could be waiting for us around the next corner. Let's hope not. Once again, the trail is wet. I'm hoping it's just a horse. Oh my goodness. We made it. Not to Buck Lake, we're not there just yet, but this is the top. This is the highest elevation we will be on this trip, 8,500 feet above sea level. Something like 4,000 total feet of elevation gain on this entire loop. Morale is high. Buck Lake is about 2 miles that way. It's around 4:30 in the afternoon. This water looks really clear, so I think I'm gonna fill up here. I was just about to do something that I have never done before. But first I connected to a satellite just to message the missus back home to let her know that all was well. And I cannot believe this, but I actually had a scam text message all the way out here. Unbelievable that scammers can reach me in Emigrant Wilderness, but also unbelievable because I've been using Incogni for quite a while, the sponsor of today's video. If you're wondering how all those scammers and identity thieves get your information, the answer is data brokers. Your personal information is exposed to the internet pretty much anytime you do anything online. Data brokers then buy and sell that information to anyone who wants it, and that includes MyScammer. But if scammers can't find your information, then they can't really scam you. Can they? That's where Incogni comes in. Incogni automates the process of reaching out to hundreds of data brokers to force them to remove your data. This would take hundreds of hours to do manually, so I just let Incogni do it for me. And since I'm constantly on the internet, Incogni constantly scans data brokers for new potential threats. So take back your personal data with Incogni. Use code AdamExplores at the link below to get 60% off annual plans. All right, back in the wilderness, and the thing that I've never done before is soaking. Cold soaking, just to be specific. This is a dehydrated backpacking meal, and typically you need boiling water to rehydrate them. The ultralight crew doesn't like to bring a stove, and I certainly didn't bring one today. So a way to get around boiling water is to just put cold water in there and let it soak for an hour. Chicken pho. Oh, smells nice. Step 2, add water. Step 3, seal and shake it up. And apparently in an hour, I'll have chicken pho. Leave no trace moment of the day. This is a campsite right next to the lake. You should not camp here. You shouldn't leave your trash here, and you shouldn't have a fire here either. Don't worry, I will get your trash this time, but do better next time. Temperature is dropping. Clouds are coming in. I don't think there's any chance of rain tonight. At least I hope not. If there is, I have a plan. I think we're around 2 miles from Buck Lake. I'll see you when we get there. We're close. Even closer. 1 mile remaining to Upper Buck Lake. I thought we were done with uphill. We are not. Oh my God, I think that's it. Let's go. I give you Upper Buck Lake. Let's get down there. Well, this is pretty unreal. Absolutely worth it. I think it's around 5:45 right now. I am starving and I can't imagine a better place to have dinner. So let's see if the cold soak worked. Doesn't feel like it worked, but pho is a soup. Brought along my trusty spork, titanium. Never leave home without it. Yeah, I guess that kind of did work. I think it could use another minute or, another hour. I can see fish eating bugs off the surface. Hopefully they're getting the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are out. I haven't heard or seen anyone else here. I can't believe I have this place all to myself. Obviously, it's not like I'm the only person who's ever been here. In fact, there's a campsite right there. Picked up some more trash. But my goodness, this is not bad. Well, I was sitting here at Upper Buck Lake thinking about showing you my last few pieces of gear and finding a campsite. But then it occurred to me, it's not even 6:30. Got plenty of daylight left. We should keep going. More than enough daylight. This should be fine. Oh, whoa. Almost missed it. Lower Buck. Looking good. This is pretty much exactly what I'm looking for in a campsite, but we just have so much more daylight. Let's keep going. Just taking a minute to admire Lower Buck Lake. I didn't think Upper Buck could get any better, but this is just as good. Looking through my dessert options, and of all the chocolate items I brought, the only one that isn't a melted mess is the good stuff. Tony's Chocolonely. I didn't think there was any chance that I would be this far at this point in the day. I guess there is something to the vest. I'm almost wishing that this sun would set a little bit more. It's right in my eyes at the moment. As stunning as this place is, we still got time. Let's do it. Oh my goodness, another lake covered with lily pads. Just cool to see it. Oh. What have we here? A goose and a river crossing. Looks like the horses don't have trouble with it. Was getting ready to take off the socks and shoes, nothing like a quick dip in the water to end the day. But then I saw this. It's 7:20 and I'm a little tired, not gonna lie, but I'm still feeling good. I have no idea how many miles I've gone, but it's a lot. Probably somewhere between 10 and 20. I was looking at the map and it looks like there's another lake this direction, so I think I'm gonna head that way. I did not think the scenery was gonna get any better, but here we are. No way. People, and they've got a fire. I thought there was a fire ban, but I certainly don't know everything. Those are the first people I've seen in 9 hours. Not bad. Oh, what are you? Doe. A deer. 7:45, and this is as far as we can go for tonight. That's for two reasons. One is it's getting dark, and two is this is the last lake for quite a while. Gonna need a water source, so simply cannot go further. That means we have two fairly critical things to do right now. First, we need to find a place to hang this food bag. There's a lot of trees like this around here. Nothing for a bear hang up there. That said, this is pretty much made for a bear hang. Very glad I brought this extra trash bag. Almost left this in the car. All scented items into the bear hang. Chapstick, bear hang, need something to hang it with. This is nice and tangled. Good thing I didn't fix this at home. Normally you'd want to tie a rock to this, but I don't know if that's even necessary. How about this stick? Easy. Stick is not quite heavy enough. The cord is somehow wrapped around twice. Might look like my first time doing this. It is not. This double wrap is not good. Starting over. All right, here we go. Let's go. Carabiner is now stuck. It's going great. And finally, tie it off. And that's how a professional does a bear hang. Let's find somewhere to sleep. Now I mentioned I don't have a sleeping mat, so finding soft ground is pretty critical. I don't know if this is my spot, but I like the looks of this area. This could work. Pretty soft. Someone had a fire. Here we go. Now we're talking. This is the site. Lake is a few hundred feet that way. My bear hang is maybe 500 feet over there. This will do just fine. The piece of gear I might be most excited about, aside from the vest, of course, is this. What's this? Well, this is a bivy bag. It's basically a body bag that you sleep in, except it's got a tent pole. If I had stakes, it would stand up on its own, but I didn't bring any stakes. I'm gonna be honest, finding a campsite and a bear hang location were much easier than I expected. I think it's probably around 8:30 now. Not a bad day. I believe we have around 10 miles left to go tomorrow, so the real test now is, can I get enough sleep on the ground to make it back out in the morning? Wish me luck. After 9 hours of seeing no one, I'm camped across the lake from the only other people I've seen. Yes, it has occurred to me that bringing a small sleeping pad would have been a great idea. And yes, I do have one back home. And finally, yes, I did have room for it in my vest. Maybe next time. Cozy. It's 3 a.m., and this is going about as well as you might expect. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Almost 7 a.m. and I am struggling. I was gonna hang out by this lake and try to drink some instant coffee and maybe some electrolytes, but can you hear that? There's a bunch of cows over there. I gotta go see that. I mean, talk about free range. Don't run. Hello. Hi, friends. Good cows. Oh, don't come over here. That's wild. More cows. Hey, cows. They must not see a lot of people. Oh, I am feeling atrocious, but strangely enough, those cows actually cheered me up a little bit. You don't see cows like that every day. We should probably talk about the bivy sack. Sleeping in the bivy bag was not an enjoyable experience. Started off okay. I had a good thing going with using the vest as a sort of pillow, and I dozed off for like 15 minutes or so. But then I woke up hyperventilating. If you zipper it up, there's just no airflow and not enough oxygen to get in there. So after laying awake for a while, it felt like hitting the road at 3 a.m. was the way to go. It is not lost on me that 1, I chose this. I did this to myself. And 2, if I had just brought a sleeping mat, this probably would have been fine. Oh, this is a beautiful place. Wish I was feeling a little better. 4 or so miles to go, and part of that is a big climb. And I don't really want to do it, but I'm worried that if I stop for too long, that's going to be it. All right. I think it's probably a combination of not sleeping much at all and the altitude that has me feeling the way I do. But I want no sympathy. We got this. Never understood why horses are allowed to poop on the trail, but people aren't. Maybe it's because they eat hay and we eat processed garbage? I don't know. Well, morale is back up, and that's because we've answered the question, can you go backpacking without a backpack? That's right. We made it. Only one thing left to do now, and I think you know what that is. As long as you respect it, there's no right or wrong way to enjoy the outdoors. Will I do this again? Maybe. But I'll bring a lot more gear. And I suppose it is time to buy a new backpack. If you want to watch a video where things go a bit more smoothly, you'll like this one. And hit subscribe. It really is the best way to support this channel. Wow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. My goodness.